you this one.
I was sitting on the edge of my bathroom sink, painting my nails bright red. The red was going to match my Halloween costume perfectly. My friends and I were going to be the elements, and I was fire. I was doing my best to embrace it, while at the same time, I was trying to figure out and remedy how I was going to be an empty nester. And I was wondering if I had done everything that I could to launch my daughter. I reach into the drawer to grab a Q-tip to tidy up the edges, and I see that one end of the Q-tip had already been used. I knew that my daughter had been here. She doesn't throw things away until they are all used up. When she was young, we'd take her to the park, and she'd find things like a dirty scrap of ribbon, and she'd clean it off and say, "Look, I can use this in a collage." And I tried not to be too annoyed with the continuous clutter that was being collected, because I loved the way that she saw the potential in things. As she grew, we tried to steer her towards experiences instead of stuff. Dance stuck. And for the last 2 years, the two of us, we've been learning salsa dancing together. One day, someone in our dance community said to her that there was an event happening in California. So my daughter said, "Mom, let's go to a congress in Palm Springs." So first, I had to look up what congress meant, because I didn't really know what Latin dancing had to do with my political representatives. And to my surprise, one of the definitions is sexual intercourse. I quickly closed my computer, threw caution to the wind, and said yes to what I didn't exactly know. But the next thing that happened is we quickly were loading up the car with sparkly clothes, with makeup, with curling irons, with wayward hangers. We were clearly bringing a lot of stuff. We got into the car. We drove from Flagstaff, through the desert, into the sunset. When we arrived, I finally learned what we'd actually be doing there, which was 3 days of daytime classes and 3 nights of wild dance parties. And these parties apparently started at 7 p.m. and went until 5 in the morning. And the good dancers didn't even come until 1 in the morning. Naturally, my daughter had a plan. She said, "Okay, this is what we're going to do. First, we'll go to sleep at 7 p.m., we'll wake up at 11, and then we'll dance from 12 to 5. So a little bit about me is I religiously go to bed at 9 p.m., and I unapologetically sleep for 9 hours. But this is what we did. So we set our alarms, we woke up, we put on those sparkly clothes, we wore lots of deodorant, we brushed our teeth, we ate a banana, and we headed out into the loud and sweaty night. When we arrived on the first night, I prepared a speech that only had 2 points I knew she would remember. First, you will not leave this dance hall with anyone other than me. And number 2, if you get a drink, do not take your eyes off that drink. Thankfully, she already knew. But it actually was helpful in this way. Every once in a while, there would be someone who was like a little too into her, and she'd wave at me from across the dance hall, and I'd wave back, and then they'd start waving too, not really understanding why, and then she'd lean into them and say, "Should we go say hi to my mom?" Every once in a while, I'd sit out, and I'd just watch her. The way she moved was both free and elemental. I could see the little girl in her that used to love to spin in circles, and one time, with all of the dizziness, she ran into a lamp and needed to get stitches in her eyebrow. I saw the young woman she was becoming with her curves and her grace and her desire for adventure. I don't know how many more times we're going to have like this. She's applying to colleges, and her top choice is in Paris. On the third and final morning, instead of getting into the car, instead of going to the hotel room, we go into the car and we chase the sunrise home. Soon she'll be chasing horizons, maybe in Paris, inviting others into her big and bright world more than she invites me. That's how it should be. She's ready. I'm ready. Just as the sun begins to emerge, I look over at my daughter and I see the reflection of the fire in her eyes. Thank you.